So this time, I'm gonna answer the question that nobody asked. What kind of roof rack do you got? Well, this one's homemade and was a whole lot cheaper than buying one that you have to browse the web for. So grab a cheap cold one. I'm gonna show you how to build a roof rack that you can put a basket on, hang an awning from, and eventually hang an awning on the other side. Welcome to Boondock Caverlock. This is gonna be fun. All right, so this video was recorded sometime last summer, middle of summer, I don't know. I do know the audio's not great on it because I had a microphone that wasn't hooked up to anything, but it was, you know, on my hat like an idiot. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, leave comments below. Like, subscribe, you know, all that crap. But here we go. Okay, so the first thing we gotta do is we gotta build a roof rack up here. And instead of going to ARE and purchasing one that fits, there were already 8 holes drilled, so somebody had something up here. And wouldn't you know it, that fits something called a unistrut. What's a unistrut? Well, let me get down here. Unistrut is what is used to hold a lot of things in construction. It's basically a U-channel. You attach it to things, or you can attach things to it, and they've got little spring bolts, things that go in there, and you bolt them together and bolt other things to it. Where I've cut some down, I've already cut them into little, basically 2 hole things to bolt to the existing bolt holes, which oddly enough fit perfectly. So I've got 2 already up there on the other side, 1 and 2. These existing holes are going to get 2 more over there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to get a bracket for the awning, measure back, and put a second set for a little bit more support on this side. And then I'm going to run basically crossbars going this way, and then 2 bars going this way, which actually, you know what, I don't think I need to drill 2 more holes. When I think about it, I don't. I'm not going to drill 2 more holes. I'm just going to mount them to there, do 2 crossbars here and here, and then 1 this way, 1 more this way, and then that way. This is where the awning is going to sit. The basket's going to go on the other side of that and fill up the rest of the space. That should be enough. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so how we're going to attach these, let me go grab the unistrut piece that I forgot at the bottom. Unistrut, 2 holes. Start with a bolt and a washer. Put that through one of the oval shaped holes. Another washer below that. Rubber grommet washer goes on there. Repeat that for the second bolt. Make sure you don't drop your bolt out of the other one. That in. Now the reason for that washer underneath of there is to put even pressure around that grommet so it doesn't leak water. Hopefully it'll work. I assume it will because it's tight against the bolt, and that should keep it from leaking. The other one I had on there actually cracked and split a little bit because I had it too tight, so it leaked. These ones hopefully won't leak, but we'll find out, and if I got to put a little caulk under there, I will. Through the hole, and I've got basically just nuts with a little blocky thing that I don't even know what they call these things, but you know, nuts with lock washers built in. Sure. Oh, and I dropped one under the truck, of course. That one. Let me get the one I dropped. That one on. And these, I'm not going to tighten them as much as the other ones, or the other time I tighten them. I'm just going to snug it down. Make sure I'm not squishing that washer out too much. there you have it. Gonna do the one on the front and then measure, kind of see how long these are gonna be. I think they're gonna be about 48 inches. We'll see. I think that's what they come out to be. We'll measure and see where the holes line up. We'll go from there. All right, so I thought about it, and some of you guys might not know what Unistrut is or where to get it. Well, you go to your local builder supply store, whether it's the orange one, the green one, the red one, the independent one, or you go to mine, which is the blue one. We're gonna go inside and show you what aisle it is and where to find everything. All right, so you're gonna go to the electrical aisle, and sometimes it's aisle 12. It could be a different aisle, but you're gonna walk down here past all your fittings and your boxes, and you're gonna go past the conduit. It's plastic stuff, and there's the metal stuff, and right here, you've got a little section of Unistrut. I sell it in two sizes, 12 gauge, 14 gauge. I got the 14 gauge. It's shorter, about 13/16 of an inch. You can buy it in 10-foot lengths or 2-foot lengths. What I needed was a bunch of 10-foot lengths. I forgot how many I bought at the time, but these are the spring nuts. They come in 3/8 and half. That is the bolt size, not the size socket you use to put the bolts on. I got the 3/8 size because I don't think I need anything bigger. I'm not hauling a bunch of weight on it. It should be fine. So now let's get back to building it. All right, now that the other ones are all on there, if I measured correctly, I need about a 4-foot piece for the two. We're gonna call this horizontal. They're all horizontal. Across. About 48 inches across. Measured out between the two brackets, it's 36. Maybe I'll go a little bit less. Let me measure center at 38. Maybe I'll go, let me see here. Let me see where this thing lines up first. There's gonna be one hole. I think just one hole. Because then that should give me enough out to hang that canopy. Let me go get a canopy bracket and look at that and see where it's canopy. Let me go get a awning bracket and see where that lines up on here, and that'll tell me where it needs to go. Be right back. All right, so I'm just gonna set this on here just as a measuring thing. There are gonna be two. It's gonna be a little bit higher. I think if I bring it up, let me grab another one to see if I can get a different height on this. Put this, if I put that on there, that's gonna stick it way too far out. I don't want it all the way out there. If I mount it like this, ooh, there's an idea. I'm gonna mount it that way and back, which means one hole will be sufficient. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn it this way, mount it. Well, then I could even do two there and one there. That's okay. Yep, so if I do that, that'll get mounted here. No, it won't. It'll have to get mounted there because of that. Okay. If I do one hole out, let me show you what I mean by one hole. Let me get this cut, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Best part about this stuff is the only thing you need to cut it is a Sawzall, and just cuts like butter as long as you got a sharp blade. You can use fancy cutoff wheels or death wheels if you want, but this works just fine. All right, so what did I mean by one hole out? Let me show you. I meant, if you're looking on top of that, that's the hole that's gonna mount into there, one hole out. So then, this bracket is actually, I thought about doing it this way and bringing it all the way out here, but that's gonna be sticking out too far to the side of the truck. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount the cross brackets on the top and then mount this underneath of them. So this is actually bolted up and being supported from the top, so it's kind of hanging. That way, it's not sticking way far out, and it's not super high. I think that's going to be the best bet for what I'm doing. We'll find out. Trial and error. So let me show you how this gets attached. Sorry, bad angle. So this is what I was talking about, little spring nuts. Spring in, and basically what they do is you put them in, you push them down, and you turn them to the side. Which, you know, sometimes it's easier said than done. Like that. And then what you'll do is you'll take your other one, put it across, or whatever you're bolting to it, with a washer and a bolt, and you just bolt it together, and that's what holds it. So I'm going to do that for this one, cut another one, and do it for the back. All right, so I actually had to get the awning up here so I could see how it lays out and how long I'm going to cut the next support bracket, and then once that's there, we'll kind of adjust with the height. Let me show you where we're at. All right, so let me see if I can not fall off a ladder, because that's, you know, important to me right now. Climb down the ladder. So if I put it right there, the mounting bracket, one's gonna go this end, one's gonna go this end. So I think I'm gonna have to measure, and I'm basically gonna make the two pieces of unistrut right there as long as that mounting surface, and that way I can get two brackets as close to the ends as possible and one in the middle. All right, so there's two ways we're gonna mount this. I haven't cut it yet, but so the way this is, get back a little bit, I can mount this bracket underneath the two like that. That keeps it fairly close to the topper, and it's not gonna sit any higher than the basket I got, which is 5 inches. The other way to do it would be to bump that up, but this would also be sticking way out, so I don't like that idea. We're gonna go this way, underneath in two spots, one bar here, one bar there, straight across, 3 mounts, and we'll be good. All right, I'm gonna get that cut to length and then get that attached to the other one, and then put brackets on and put that awning on and see what the damn thing looks like, because I bet it looks pretty cool. And that's what it looked like all put together right before I bolted the awning on. All right, now that I got all this stuff centered, snugged, tightened up, drove around a little bit with it on there, didn't move, didn't whistle, didn't make a whole lot of noise, so that's a bonus. Now to mount the awning, they give you the angle brackets, and they give you really long bolts and washers and nuts and all that. So I want to mount it, instead of mounting it up like this to where it's on top of these two rails, I actually want to mount it so it's down here, so it's a little bit lower, you know, a whole ½ inch, but ask around, ½ inch is a lot. So they also give you these little things that actually bolt through it. So take your bolt, go through. It'd be a whole lot easier if this was, you know, from the bottom, but you know me, I got to do it the hard way every time. And then you get your washer, and then you get your nut, and then you attempt to thread your bolt through there, and then cross it and do the same thing on this side, which, you know, washer and nut. So now I've got 2 of these attached. There are a total of 3. They did tell me that 2 would suffice for this, but it comes with 3, and I had to wait for the 3rd one because one of them fell out in shipping. Slide that down, and I'll get the 3rd one on. And once those are on, we'll get them out. We'll get the. All right. So if I measured my bars correctly, we've got all 3 on there. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to try and heft this awning up here by myself. It's kind of heavy, so it should be fun. Wish me luck. You'll see me struggle. All right, so they also give you an assortment of these little T-looking things. So what I'm going to do is they go in here and I slide like that. So there's 4 per bracket. 1, 2 down there. Not now. So those slid in, 4, 4, and then those 4 slid down. 2 of the short ones had some manufacturing defects, so I have to use 2 longer ones up there in the middle. Not a big deal. Shouldn't cause a problem. I'm gonna need a second ladder. Okay. Over the ladder. In a better position, maybe. Oh, I didn't bring me no nuts. That's a big old fail on my part. Let me go get some nuts. The other washers. Where I can get to it. Kinda. I'll start there. Okay. Get back into the position of this being kind of very heavy. Oh, bummer. That needs to be on the other side. Well, let's get these ones mounted first. Get this center one on here. Ouch. Let's see if the audio is any better. It's probably not because, you know, I screwed it up. Only I'd pay it a little more attention. Man. Oh well. You branch. I need to stop doing whatever it is you're doing. That's getting in my way. Okay. This branch I got nothing to do with, so that's just gonna be in my way. Okay, so now the problem is I gotta lift this thing up while I tighten those on. I chose to do this the most difficult way possible. The most difficult way possible. So everybody asks why it's got to have a basket up there as well. And because I think it looks kind of goofy with just an awning sticking up over there. So there's the rack I got to build, and that's going to go up there. Got that off of Face Space for 80 bucks. So, you know, to me, that's just kind of goofy hanging out there with nothing to anchor it, if you will. So we're gonna open it for the first time. So the first time when you plug them in, all you see is a little blue light. And then you tap said blue light. Once, it gives you amber. Twice, it gives you white. 3 times, it gives you both. Which, honestly, is pretty cool. That's a decent amount of light under there. I think we're going to enjoy this a lot. The other thing I did notice was there's a little gap right here. So what I'm going to do is I have room to slide the whole assembly forward about 2 inches or so. That way, any rain is going to get caught on the canopy. It'll run down here, not a big deal. And then back here, it won't be coming through this gap. It'll sit on top of the canopy and not drip on our heads. So very impressed with the OpenRoad canopy. All right, as you can see, I've got the rack off the truck and I've added another crossbar over here just to make it a little more symmetrical and have that basket sit a little bit better on there. Now that it's been up there and had a chance to drive and see that it's stable and I like where it's at, brought it down and I am going to paint it. Now the unistrut is already galvanized, so it shouldn't rust, but you know, nice all dark colored truck and this bright shiny metal thing is just too shiny. So gonna paint it up like we always do. I'm not gonna worry too much about getting every little nook and cranny. This is more of a make it look better than keep it from rusting, because this unistrut, I've seen stuff that has been sitting out in the weather for years and years and years and it's not rusting. So like I said, it's galvanized. We're just gonna make it look a little bit better. All right, now that it's painted, mount it up just like we did before. You know, 8 bolts. Get it mounted, then we'll get the awning back up on the brackets. And you'll notice I moved them to the top side. They were on the bottom side. That's because the old awning actually sat, you can see, it sat on there and stuck to it a little bit. So you can try and get that off of the topper. And it's kind of not going to need sitting on there too much, hopefully. We'll see what it looks like. Now, this video was done, I don't know, last fall sometime when I actually installed it, but I'm happy with it. It holds the OpenRoad awning really well. The only thing I got to do is add a brace right here, because it's kind of doing a little bit of a lean, and that's my fault for the install. Didn't think it'd need another brace on it, but I can always buy some more unistrut and make that happen. And actually, I've got a piece. But I'll do that in the background. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.